Hi, babe. Oh, hi, babe. Oh, we're off to the races.
Who's there? I was like, hi, Jamie.
Oh, we're so smart.
When did you went to college? We did. We have degrees and everything.
Oh, dear. Okay. Hi, babe.
Hi, babe.
I'm Jamie.
And I'm Jessica.
And welcome to episode 5 of A Court of Books and Babes,
A podcast where two best friends review, react to, and rate our, and soon to be your, favorite fantasy books.
Okay, I've been waiting all week. We need to catch up on Blood and Ash.
I am ready. I'm about 100 pages out from being done book 3, and you're now on book 5?
5. I have like 300 pages left.
And how big is the book?
Like, maybe not 300, maybe 200. I have like this much left, and the book is like this.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
And?
Yeah, it's good. The male perspective is interesting to me. I like it a lot.
I loved what you said last week when you were like, I love the male perspective written from a woman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Totally. He just like worships her, and I'm here for it.
They're like, as he should.
Mm-hmm.
Vow.
Yeah. Oh, we talk about that this episode too. Men on their knees.
Yes. They found about it.
Oh, and a bow.
Mm.
Okay, I also read this week that they're making Blood and Ash into a series. TV. Sony, I think, is producing it.
Sony's still around? What?
I don't know. Surely it'll be on like some type of streaming service. But, okay, so I know originally I was like, oh, Austin Butler for Reese. But like, he could definitely be Hawk. Because Hawk is like sandier hair.
Yes, he's like more golden in color.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think he could be it. And Hawk is like sharp and kind of like smirky a little bit. Yeah, like teasy.
I still love him for Reese. Like, I never would have thought him because he's so blonde. But then as soon as we watched that video of him reading Red,
his voice.
Oh my God. And just like the like smirky, jokey, I was like, if I can't have young Cillian Murphy or
Ian Somerhalder. However you say his name.
Right. Then Austin Butler. Stand for life. But I could see him as Hawk as well. Did you see, and I haven't fact checked this, look into this at all, but I saw. So it's probably.
I'm making it up.
Right. I heard it in the wind. The singing willow told me that there is a theory. Oh wait, so yeah, it's a theory. Anyways, the casting for Violet for Fourth Wing. Okay, and now I don't remember her name, but did you? This is going really well. Did you read Twilight?
Yes.
Okay, you watched the movie?
Avi.
Okay, do you remember the little girl the actress who played Renesmee?
Yep, I could see it. She's so pretty. So pretty and like very dainty, which is like Violet is described as like, I mean, you cough in her direction and she's like, oh, like flutters away. So like, I could see it. And she's also a bit fierce. Like you have that fire. She has an edge, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like it. I'm down with that. I was surprised, but the more that I looked at her, the more I was like, just dye her hair silver at the ends and away she goes. I know. You know what's something I was thinking about is multiple times in that book, they say her hair, it's not gray at the end. It's not white. It's silver. Like it's specifically pointed out. It's not gray. It's silver. I'm like, oh, what hair like colorist are they going to have on staff to create that? I like her for that. I think it's the man that's the problem. Casting the women, it's like, you're like, okay, you can like... Women are adaptable. Yeah. But like the men and also in just like in women's minds, they're like, we're adamant that it has to be like a certain way, and like, let's be real, none of them are going to live up to it. But they can do their best. Yes. It's time to talk lore, lust, and loose morals as we unpack adventures, escape to new worlds, and of course, swoon over our best book boyfriends.
Before we dive into today's episode, which will be covering chapters 24 through 29, please listen to this important disclaimer. Today's episode will have spoilers from A Court of Thorns and Roses, but also the entire Maasverse.
This podcast has all of our favorite R words: romance, racey, risque, and, of course,
RHYSAND.
Again.
In the flesh.
As such, it is rated R. Listen accordingly.
Ooh, we also have our first sex scene.
Let's talk about sex, baby.
Let's talk about you and me. We'll kick off every episode with Babes Between the Lines,
where we read what's written, obsess over what isn't,
and dig past the dialogue so you don't miss any of the magic, motives, or mistakes.
Let's dive in. Chapter 24. Feyre wakes up to a stranger in her room. A squat woman. Look, I didn't write that. SJM. Like, girl, come on. Let's be a girl's girl. A squat woman. That's her language. With skin like a tree's bark. She queries to the stranger, "Where is Alice?" And the stranger, clearly irritated, tells her that she is Alice. Feyre slowly realizes that the glamour that Tamlin had placed on her as she entered Prythian had prevented her from seeing Alice as she truly is. Tamlin. Why, she wonders, would Tamlin have glamoured everything in his court? But on further consideration, she realizes that she would have been in no state when she first entered Prythian to take in seeing all of the strange and, frankly, frightening fairies that make up the spring court. She also realizes that the glamour not only made the fairies appear more humanoid, but that it also created the illusion of there being far fewer than there are in actuality.
Ugh, this is like, I feel, his first kind of like must control everything. Like he has to control the way she perceives things, control, like he thinks she's weak and that's why he does it. And I'm like.
Also, it's a bit, and she talks about this, mortifying to not know that there are, like, she's seeing a fraction of the people present.
Yeah.
And to then realize that, like, oh my gosh, there's been all these people here and she's like not talk to them, not like recognize, like it just is. Yeah, I agree. I
don't like it.
She finds the boys in the dining room. They notice Feyre's awkward anxiety and tell her that they had made sure that she couldn't see or hear anyone who wasn't necessary, to your point, that they deemed necessary.
Right.
It's at this moment that Feyre realizes that every time when she has snuck through the mansion on her tippy toes, thinking she was the queen of stealth, she was tiptoeing past an audience. Likely
awkward.
Right, a very amused audience. I know that Tamlin and Lucien say that they were doing this for Feyre's own good, but the inner prankster in me is very suspicious. This is hilarious. And I mean, we were just saying how like crappy it is, and I'm like, I might do it. That's pretty funny. But,
I mean, Lucien could for sure be some like behind something like that.
Right?
Tricksy little fox.
Feyre's mind snags on something. She asks why she was able to see the puka, the naga, and the fairy with the ripped off wings with the glamour. And Tamlin tells her that they aren't members of the spring court and therefore his glamour wouldn't work on them. Lucien leaves Tamlin and Feyre, and Tamlin lets Feyre know that the blight is acting up and warns her to be on guard. When Feyre asks if this surge in activity could be temporary, Tamlin's heavy silence is answer enough. The next day, there is a dramatic shift in the mood from starlit pools and naps in lush green meadows to something far more macabre as Feyre finds a spiked, decapitated head in the garden. Also, I didn't realize, except for on a reread, that it's spiked onto like, I think it's like a statue of a heron with like, it's like.
I thought it was part of a fountain.
Bill, yes, its bill is like turned upwards. And I'm like,
Is it a head that we know? I forget.
No, we don't.
No, it's just some rando.
And actually Tamlin and Lucien, so they show up and neither recognize the face. Tamlin says not a member of spring and Lucien says not a member of autumn. As Lucien examines the head closer, though, he does see a brand behind the ear, a mountain with 3 stars. The Ninth Court. I love that you just went over decapitation. You're like, Reese.
Classic Reese.
Battle jokester. Do you remember, as I was reading this, I can't remember if it's in 54. Do you remember Reese speaking to this later?
Yes. He says something about it, like he felt bad, or like it was I feel like it was part of like his remorse bit.
Right. He didn't actually decapitate this fairy.
I'm sure Amarantha did.
And then
I think he like scrambled their mind or something though. Like, wasn't he always scrambling people's minds so they weren't like in pain when they died?
He was like making omelets out of heads all the time. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was Amarantha had done something and he was basically like, yeah, roadkill. I took it. There. Why? Feyre asks, quote, the Night Court does what it wants, Tamlin said. They live by their own code, their own corrupt morals. They're all sadistic killers, Lucian said. The number of social clips that I have seen where it's this quote and it's like, meanwhile, the Bat Boys, and they're just like dancing and
like in Valaris.
The way that social media has changed the way that I now read these books, like on a reread, I'm like, first off, I'm seeing so many things I didn't see the first time around. But then secondly, I'll read something and then it's like, yeah, I see a reel pop up into my head. That's like, the Bat Boys did.
They're grooving.
Feyre asks if it's a message. Lucian says that the fact that they were able to get into the Spring Court, past all of Tamlin's glamours and wards and defenses, within 60 to 70 feet of the mansion itself, that is the message. Power. Unrelenting, unstoppable power.
I know. Reese is just like, tra-la-la, like this is hard. Da-di-da-da-da.
Like it's hard?
Yeah, exactly.
Tamlin tells Feyre she's still safe and that this is just the High Lord of the Night Court's idea of a prank. All right, rant time. If we contrast this with future scenarios where Feyre is in danger with Rhysand, he doesn't try to shelter or hide her from that fact. And I think that there's lots of reasons for that, but likely one of the main ones being that in doing so, in trying to shelter her from reality, he would actually have been doing her a disservice. In the same way that once Feyre later gets her powers, and Tamlin refuses to tell her anything about them, refuses to teach her, to train her, he may feel that he is protecting her, but the reality that we see is that he's essentially tying one hand behind her back.
Totally.
As well. I can't help but, I'm not done.
Furthermore,
I can't help but wonder, does he really think that this head is just a prank?
No, for sure not.
Okay.
I feel like it's like a message, but also like rich coming from him when he like he's a bit of a murderous fiend too. Like, okay, sir.
Right.
Pot meat kettle.
And it's like a pretty, I don't know, like it's a pretty vile, like, okay, we know that the Spring Court thinks that the Night Court is like, as Lucian said, sadistic killers. Meanwhile, they're just like dancing. But it still seems short-sighted and dismissive to be like, it's just a joke. You're safe.
Maybe they're lying to her.
It reminds me of what you said last episode about Tamlin at times sort of seeming laden with inaction, right? And that there's this passivity to him that it makes sense when we think about that he probably always just wanted to be a musician and
the fiddling.
Right? I know, but instead of a
Nightmare.
warrior. But it's infuriating in moments like this. Like, I'm sorry. I don't care how bad you are. Like, if I found a decapitated head in my yard, I wouldn't be like, well, that Rhysand.
What a guy.
Such a jokester. Lucian leaves, head in tow, and Feyre picks up her scattered paints and paintbrushes. Shook by what she's just witnessed, Feyre comments that if this is their idea of a joke, then the way that the Fae must have treated the humans when they were still slaves must have been absolutely horrifying. A shadow seems to pass over Tamlin as he tells her that he's glad that he was just a child when his father sent his human slaves south of the wall. When Feyre asks if the humans were happy to be free, Tamlin says that while the humans were ill-equipped, to say the least, to deal with their newfound freedom, Yes, they were very happy to be free. Chapter 25. The next morning returns once more to a happier thematic feel. I like done a little like
these whole set of chapters, it's like emotional whiplash.
Yeah, constantly. The rising of the sun brings fiddle music, decorations, and maypoles. Alice's response when asked what's happening is that it's summer solstice. Pause. This is our first real timestamp since the beginning of the book.
Right.
Yeah. Like she's talked a few times like, oh, I've been here for a while, a few weeks, but like not more than a few weeks. Winter, done. Spring, done. We are in summer. Like
summer. In the spring court.
Right. Right.
There'd still be summer solstice because it
like time is passing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I suppose like weather never changes. Interesting. As afternoon nears, Feyre hears Tamlin and Lucien. Can I just say, this is going to be like another L for SJM. She describes Lucien's laugh that Feyre overhears in this moment as a braying laugh.
Like a donkey?
If anyone described my laugh as braying, I simply would never laugh again. I'd be like, well, that's done for me now. No more laughing. Braying.
Right.
Horrendous.
I mean, it would make sense if it was like the stable hands, maybe, because they like have the horse masks.
Poor Lucien. God, this poor guy.
He can't catch a break.
No, he can't. No. Alice dresses Feyre in a cornflower blue flowing gown and braids flowers into her hair. As she descends the stairs to greet the boys, Lucien tells her she looks positively fey. Tamlin tells her she looks lovely, and Feyre practically purrs under their attention.
I know, but like all these clothes just give me the ick in the spring court.
Because we know that it's not her.
Yeah, it's not her. And she secretly hates it.
But who doesn't feel like?
Oh, Ianthe.
No, I was going to say Elaine.
What did you say?
Ianthe?
I say Ian.
Ian?
Yeah.
I definitely say Ianthe.
Okay.
But I would say out of all of the names, Ianthe might have been the hardest. Like, I saw that word and I was like, hang on. Rewind. What? Like, Ianthe.
Yeah, Ian.
Yeah.
Like, when do you pronounce the E at the end? But I said Ianthe.
I don't know.
No offense. Yeah, thanks.
Elaine. I mean, I guess she's like mated to Lucien, but Lucien's Autumn Court.
I know.
She cannot end up with Tamlin. I will stop reading the series if she.
No,
you know what? Actually, it's just what she deserves. Change that. It is just what she deserves to end up with Tamlin. Yes.
You went from I will never read this story again to this.
Just what she deserves.
I don't know. Like, I think when I read about these dresses and things, I'm like, all I see is Elaine.
And her useless. Oh my god!
Flowers.
Don't even get me started.
Jamie's hatred for Elaine continues. Together they leave the mansion, and we learn that Solstice celebrates when day and night are equal. There will be singing, dancing, booze, and dallying.
What is dallying?
To dally, I think it's to like, to play and whatever. But it's often I feel like
dilly dally.
Yeah.
Like you're like late and you're just like cha-la-la.
But then if you were to say like a dalliance, I think the undertone of that word is like something a bit covert, usually sexual.
I was going to say sexy.
Yeah. As they reach the epicenter of the celebration, Feyre's artist brain kicks in. So much color, so much texture. Now that the glamour is gone, she gets to drink in the beautiful variety of fairies and fae present at the court and for the celebration, and she finds it breathtaking. I do have to say, though, so all of these fairies and fae, they know about what's going on with Amarantha and the curse, right?
Yes.
The spring court has been allowed to... They all know because they're either there or they're under the mountain.
And they also have a mask, so like they're not just like
right. They're like, oh, that's
where did this come from?
That's not coming off. Yeah, that's an odd development.
Okay, yes, they know. At first, I was like, do they? And I'm like, okay, they're wearing masks. Like they must know something's up.
Yes, and so they know Amarantha, like the curse and the deal that if you can find a human, make fall in love, blah, 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 blah. So then they must know who Feyre is and like what she represents.
All of them? Or just the ones that live at the manor?
Well, because they're all under the mountain, but then they're told that they can like go back. I think
they must all know the curse, but they don't want to. They're wanting to play along with it.
They're just living their life.
She knows that it's going to change everything.
Right. Okay. So that's my read is that they know, but A, they can't talk about it because they literally can't.
And Tamlin will rip their throats out.
Also Tamlin. How are these fairies and fae partying? Like, they're like dancing and frolicking. And
there's booze.
I would just be like staring at Tamlin and Feyre and being like, kiss. Is he doing it? Kissing? What's going to happen? Like, for 50 years they've been under this mountain. And then there he is. There's the girl. She's the human. This must be her. Like, and then they're just like maples and flowers and like.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's weird.
It is weird. I don't know.
But they also did Calamai where they were like.
Yeah, but that's sex. I don't know.
Well, just for Tamlin.
No, because they're
I mean, I know.
dalliances, to use our word.
Right, to get their crops to grow or whatever it was. Yeah. I don't know. I blocked that from my memory until RHYSAND shows up.
They're like, clocking back in. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just going to say, like, impending doom is not a soiree theme that I'm excited about. Feyre goes to get herself something to drink when suddenly Lucien appears, her babysitter, telling her that, quote, I wouldn't drink that if I were you. Feyre sniffs the glass suspiciously. Lucien warns her again, saying, remember last time you didn't heed my warning? But Feyre, thinking, caution be damned, decides she wants to let her hair down. Quote, forget the blight hovering at the edges of the court, threatening my High Lord and his lands. Note, I think that this is the first time when she describes Tamlin as her High Lord. Not the High Lord or a High Lord, but hers, possessive. I think it's the first time.
It is for sure. I don't care for it.
Lucien tries to grab the drink, but Feyre chugs it. Likely thinking, you're not the boss of me.
Exactly. I was literally just thinking that. You're not the boss of me.
Right? Lucien groans. Like, God, poor friggin' Lucien. And then she chugs another. Suddenly, Feyre is moving towards the music, shoes abandoned, glorying in the color of the sky, the rhythm in her body. Our girl is drunk.
Relatable.
Distantly, she hears a, damn it, Feyre. Side note, Lucien needs this on a t-shirt. Like, if Feyre says, you're not the boss of me, Lucien needs to be, damn it, Feyre.
Yeah, for sure.
As Lucien tries to grab her elbow, Feyre dances away, shaking him off. As Feyre jumps and twirls, her eyes are drawn to one of the musicians, the fiddler. Folks, are we in Georgia? Because the High Lord of the Spring Court is ready to make a bet with the devil as his fingers prance nimbly across the strings. Lucien is there, suddenly panting, apologizing. But Tamlin just smiles at Feyre as she dances and tells Lucien to go enjoy himself, to which Lucien, quote, fled. Boy, same. I'd be like,
bye.
Yeah, don't tell me twice.
Also, this fiddle thing, just that speaking of reels playing in your mind, like there's so many of this where it's like, yes, and it's like this long-haired guy just like,
yeah.
like, what is happening?
Wait, sorry, I didn't see it one more time.
Don't judge me. That's how I fiddle.
Where's my tummy? That's so good.
Don't ask me to fiddle.
Yeah. I'm going to whip that out of ballet.
Yeah.
Like, have a dance to share with the class.
Oh, God.
Feyre dances and dances, and Tamlin plays and plays. In this section, as she's lost to the joy and freedom of this day, once again, that possessive terminology makes an appearance. Words like my fairy lord, my protector and warrior, my friend permeate her description. Eventually, Tamlin abandons his fiddle and joins Feyre in her dance. The music finally finishes, and Feyre realizes, to her surprise, that the moon is nearly set. Tamlin tells her that time moves more rapidly when you drink fairy wine, to which Feyre says, sounding like every 16-year-old after 2 White Claws, quote, "I'm not drunk." I just like,
Feyre. God bless her. Exactly.
Tamlin leads her away from the dancers, and they find themselves at the edge of a large meadow lit by the moon. Suddenly, shimmery shapes appear and begin to waltz across the field, and the sound of singing permeates the air. Tamlin tells her they are will-o'-the-wisps before saying, quote, "Dance with me, Feyre." And they do. I think it's interesting to note that first earlier when she's dancing and he's getting all hot and bothered with his fiddle, he looks at her and says, "Dance, Feyre." And then here he says, "Dance with me, Feyre," like this command. And I was thinking about the first time that she dances with Rhys, and I think it's Starfall. And she, first off, it's her, and she asks Rhys. So there isn't this like, it's just an interesting shift. Like the dynamic is so different between these two love stories. I just noticed that.
I mean, I guess if you want to call this a love story, it's fine.
As they sway, press close to one another, Tamlin whispers her name over and over. The will-o'-the-wisps disappear, and Feyre sees that it's almost dawn. As Feyre notices an odd look on Tamlin's face, she asks him, "What?" He tells her he's thinking of kissing her. "Then do it." She's like,
"Don't tell me about it."
Right?
We're going to take the bull by the horns, sir.
He brushes his lips against hers a few times, and Feyre asks, "That's it?" And Tamlin kisses her again, deeper this time. I love drunk Feyre. I want more.
Yeah, I know.
After some time, they watch as the sun comes up, bathing everything in golden light. Feyre tells Tamlin in a rare moment of vulnerability that her father used to tell her that she should let her sisters believe in a better world, but that she never understood how that could be possible until now. As he kisses her once more, Feyre thinks to herself that this is the happiest moment of her life. It's interesting though, because she reflects on this moment in later books, and that she like feels bad for herself at this time, that her life was so sad and desperate that a dance and a full belly and a kiss is the best day of her life.
Yeah.
Chapter
also
20.
like Elaine and Nesta, let them think of a better world. Like, why did they get to live in like ignorant bliss and Feyre's like out schlepping?
Crippled with reality, literally. So burdened with it that it like breaks her mentally and emotionally.
Yes.
Yeah. Good point. Chapter 26. The next morning, good and hungover, Lucien, Tamlin, and Feyre sit down for lunch. When Lucien comments in an offhand manner that he heard the two of them didn't return to the manor until dawn, Feyre notes a searching look in Tamlin's eyes, as if examining her for any sign of regret. But Feyre has none, and she says as much, kicking off a slightly heated, finally, in the good way, exchange between the two. While Lucien tries valiantly to pretend that he is anywhere else, Feyre thinks to herself that, quote, he could have had me right there on top of that table.
Another table. Soon.
As Tamlin and Feyre eventually cool off, Lucien eventually at one point, like, he actually says, he's like, I'm trying to eat. Like,
stop.
Right?
It's kind of like in book, well, I won't say, but in book 5, at the table.
Yes.
And you're like, how am I invisible?
Like,
hello?
Yes.
Asriel is like,
Also, they have like the scent, like the good sense of smell. So you just feel like,
smell the arousal.
oh my god.
Does it stink or does it smell good?
Well,
I guess it depends on the person.
I would just be so awkward. I'd just be like,
you'd smell it and you're like,
oh, what's happening here? Like, it's fine. Everything's fine. Lucien tells them that he finally got a letter bearing horrible news. The blight has killed 24 children of the Winter Court. Additionally, Further attacks have been reported in all of the other courts, all except notably one, the Night Court. Feyre asks if the blight can truly kill, and Tamlin begins to answer her, but suddenly stops, shooting to his feet, a growl ripping from his mouth as he turns to the open door. On the first read, he's here. On the first read, you're like, oh no. Second read, you're like,
Yeah, exactly.
The house is suddenly eerily quiet. Tamlin snarls at Lucien to hide Feyre by the curtain, and Lucien drags Feyre to the wall. As he does so, she tries to ask what's going on, to which, of course, no one answers her because...
Shocker.
No. And she snags a knife from the lunch table as she passes. She smells magic and realizes that Lucien has glamored her so that she is invisible, hidden from whatever may have entered the manor. Tamlin returns to his seat, a carefully constructed, relaxed posture coming over him as he slouches and picks at his nails, and Lucien pretends to be looking out the window. What?
When people pick at their nails, like, I can't.
I agree.
Like, to me, this is like, well, first of all, you're at their dinner table digging out dirt from under your nails. And, like, second of all, just the sound and, like, I just imagine him, like, sitting there, like, I'm like,
especially because he has those long, like, claws.
Long nails on a man. Just no.
Yeah.
No.
It's not a vibe.
No, it is not.
Suddenly, Feyre can hear footsteps, even, strolling, casual. And, capital H, he appears.
Oh.
And to Feyre's dismay, she knows him. The stranger who had saved her on Fire Night. Pausing for a moment, I think that this line about Rhys's footsteps is such a brilliant line of writing.
Mm-hmm.
We talked last episode about Pocket Watch and how part of what makes Rhys so intimidating is the level of power and dominance that he exudes and the way that he seems almost bored with it.
Mm-hmm.
This description, these 3 words, even, strolling, casual, paints such a picture of the carelessly, devastatingly powerful High Lord of the Night Court.
Oh, agreed.
It's fantastic. The stranger nods his head to Tamlin, and Tamlin quietly snarls out, "What do you want, Rhysand? Ladies and gentlemen, we have a name!" Okay. So a few things. One, we recently learned that in the audiobook, at least one of them, they say Rhysand. Rhysand? And I'm throwing up as I'm saying that. No. I hate it so much.
Yeah, I agree. It's the worst.
Did you say Rhysand when you first read it? Okay.
Yes.
Allie?
I said Rhysand.
Someone I know said RHYSAND. Like, RHYSAND is bad enough, but RHYSAND? That sounds like an illness.
Yeah.
I caught RHYSAND.
I think they say Rhys so soon after.
So then you're calling it rice.
Yeah.
You're saying rice?
Yes.
Oh, it's Rhys.
I know.
Duh.
Very
Gen Z says obviously.
Our dark stranger seems to find Tamlin's question amusing and pushes back, asking Tamlin, why is he calling him Rhysand? At the time, I was a little confused by this, but obviously later you realize that anyone who has known Rhysand and is friendly with him calls him Rhys. So this is an interesting callback to, like, back when they were friends, which I think is interesting. Rhysand turns his attention to Lucien, who greets him, let's say, coolly, telling him to go to hell. Rhys responds with a calm, always a pleasure dealing with the rabble.
Oh my god.
I know. I love it. Rhysand tells our boys that he wanted to check up on them and asked if they got his present. He surveys the surrounding room, noting that Tamlin has been holed up in his country estate for 49 years, though he supposes it's better than under the mountain. He also comments that he's surprised at Tamlin, surprised that he hasn't made any attempts to save himself or his court.
I mean,
right?
Fair.
This is such a this is such an interesting reread. Like,
yeah,
the way that Rhysand is half, like, he's playing this role of a villain, but he's also, and he's making fun of Tamlin, but he's doing it in a way of being like, why aren't you doing anything?
Kinda like, the fuck, bro?
Yes, like, he's baiting him. It's masterful. I love it.
I also feel like he's kind of, like, trying to explain it to Feyre, maybe? Like, I feel like he knows she's here.
Well, he does, doesn't he?
I don't think he does. I don't think he knows until he notices the third place setting.
No, there's no way.
I mean, he's not in.
He can.
I think
They have the mating bond. There's no way he's not.
And
the bond hasn't snapped into place.
But if he can.
Yes, he said he had pictures of her from her childhood.
But the bond hasn't snapped into place. It doesn't snap into place. He doesn't feel it. He wonders, but he doesn't feel it until after the mountain when they're saying goodbye. And that's when his eyes go really, really wide. And then I almost said disapparates.
He just separates.
Harry Potter?
Wrong series.
I mean, good one as well.
That's when he says, that's why his eyes go wide. And he's like, what? Also, my neighbor is reading book 2. And she was like, why did that guy RHYSAND at the end? Why did his eyes go all wide? And I was like, who knows? I don't know. Keep reading. Like, oh my God.
You're like, oh yeah, that guy.
Right. I was like, oh yeah, interesting. I'm not sure. Tell me what you think in the next 50 chapters.
And also, are we thinking that he's supposed to be like so powerful that he's.
Right, he saw through all the glamours he said to get into the spring court to put the head, and he can't sense that Feyre's there. But I feel like this doesn't make sense. I feel like he's breadcrumbing for Feyre.
I agree.
I think I disagree.
Mm.
We'll have to, now I have to go check. Take a sneaky peek. Tamlin responds that there is nothing to be done. What a Tamlin response.
Oh,
like
Tam Bam, why?
Right? At this, RHYSAND prowls closer to him.
Have you guys ever seen that internet meme? And it's the guy riding his bike, and then he sticks the stick into this wheel.
Yes.
It's like fucking liberals. Like it's like that's like Tamlin with everything.
Yes.
His own thing. He's like fucking Feyre. RHYSAND.
Fucking RHYSAND. Fucking Night Court. Yes. Tamlin. At this, RHYSAND prowls closer to him, admonishing that he seems pathetic now, especially when compared to his former warband leader status. Again, I feel like RHYSAND is like, bro, come on,
get it together.
Work with me here. Lucian bursts out with, quote, and what do you know about anything? You're just Amarantha's whore. To which RHYSAND responds, her whore I might be, but not without my reasons.
Oh, I love him.
On a reread, this is simply heartbreaking. I would love a bonus chapter of this scene told from RHYSAND's perspective.
Oh, yes.
Like reading it to me, I wish that there had been more about it in chapter 54. Because I was like, this is a huge scene. Mm-hmm. It really is. It'll be interesting. I almost said when they make it a movie or a TV series, how they handle this.
Mm-hmm.
Lucian's little outburst has now fully drawn our dark stranger's attention. What a shock he gave them all, RHYSAND muses, when Lucian switched from autumn to spring. How sad his mother is in perpetual mourning for him. When Lucian tells him to shut his mouth, RHYSAND asks if that's any way to speak to a high lord, and Feyre is shook.
Stay with the High Lord.
But which one? Like, I think there's a few. Just as she's starting to put together which court exactly he is High Lord of, Lucian bursts out once again. This isn't the Night Court, and you have no power here, so clear out. Amarantha's bed is growing cold.
Also, though, how could Feyre not piece that together when he talks about the head and, like, they talk about it being the Night Court? Like, this feels like a bit of a oopsies.
Get there faster, girl. I say, as I myself, I'm like, ooh. RHYSAND laughs at this, but then suddenly he is upon Lucian, snarling that he was fighting on the battlefield before Lucian was even born. RHYSAND plays this role very well, very convincingly, but on a reread, we notice that these moments where he seems to lose control in this scene are all tied to these jabs around the role that he is playing with Amarantha, specifically that he has become her lover. We know that this sexual abuse is traumatizing for RHYSAND and will leave him with significant PTSD. So while these moments of startling fury may be part of the character Rhys is forced to play, I also can't help but wonder if these losses of control are somewhat organic.
Yeah, I would say so.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in this scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's like,
Lucian's really giving him the gears, like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. RHYSAND backs away from Lucian, returning once more to that casual devil-may-care posture, sneering at Lucian's inexperience, commenting that he, after all, is the one who taught Tamlin swordplay. And Tamlin brushes off the comment. Again, Rhys is like calling back to when he and Tamlin were friends. Like, I feel like he's like, remember, like, don't buy this. Like, this is a mask. It's so good on a reread. Like, I didn't know that I would love rereading this section as much as I did. And I was like, literally, I was like, yes, yes. Finally, RHYSAND goes to leave, saying that she is waiting for him. But as he walks by the table, something snags his eye. The table is set for 3. I literally have goosebumps. Where is your guest? RHYSAND asks, his face now devoid of emotion. Tamlin says that he sent them off once he sensed the High Lord of the Night Court. Suddenly, Feyre smells magic as RHYSAND stares right at her. Quote, "You dare glamour me." If Feyre had had any hopes of remaining hidden, it is clear that those are dashed, and that RHYSAND has stripped the glamour away and is looking right at her. And to top it all off, he remembers her. He asks Tamlin who this guest is, and Lucian jumps in, saying Feyre is his betrothed. RHYSAND stalks closer to where Lucian and Feyre are pressed against the wall, offhandedly commenting how surprising that is, considering he thought Lucian still carried a torch for his past love.
Pause. The past love was the one that his brothers killed, right? Yes. So sad. Poor Lucian.
Lucian's family. Lucian. We need...
The autumn court is terrible.
I know. It's so pretty.
Yeah. I love a fall court.
Yeah. Tamlin tells Lucian to lower his sword, which has now been drawn, and then demands that RHYSAND leaves. Interestingly, Feyre notes Tamlin himself doesn't make a move, doesn't step in front of her. He remains where he is.
I mean, tracks though. It's like he's the king of inaction.
Inaction.
Like,
yes.
Would she expect anything else? It's Feyre is so. I mean, I get it, but she's so blind to him in these chapters, and it's so frustrating. This whole book, actually.
Yeah.
And it's so frustrating.
But the first time through, like, I wasn't like, oh, like, I think I was like, come on. But I was like, oh, I get it. Like, he doesn't want to, instigate something that...
Women make excuses for poor behavior.
It gives the idea so much more that Rhys is just better than Tamlin. Like, it makes me think that Tamlin's afraid of Rhys.
Oh, and he totally
Which he is.
Everybody is. Yeah.
Not this gal.
Yep. Rhys brushes Lucian out of the way. Literally, he's just like, shoo, shoo.
You.
And then, quote, with horrific gentleness, pried the knife out of my hands and sent it scattering away. Again, I love this writing. The contrast between power and might and deadly, devastating fury and calm control and gentleness. It creates this tension that is so delicious. The first time through in a terrifying way, and the second time through in a more exciting way. It's like in a horror movie, if the villain like reaches forward and like strokes their hair, you're like horrifying, terrifying.
That's it. Oh. What is Silence of the Lambs when the girl's in the and he has the night vision goggles.
Oh.
And he like is always just like, and she's like Jodie Foster is like this, and then she like feels him like, that movie, terrifying. Yes, good comparison.
RHYSAND tells her that if she were wise, she would be running away from this place, and her confusion is apparent, as Rhys then says, she doesn't know, does she? Tamlin, apparently finally coming close to some type of action, tells Rhys that he has seconds. For what? We don't know. But Rhys responds smoothly, saying that, quote, if I were you, I wouldn't speak to me like that. And suddenly, Feyre's bones and muscles all strain as the smell of magic once again fills her nose. She realizes Rhys has seized control of her mind, her body, her very blood. Tamlin is now panicked, terrified. All pretenses of calm are gone, telling Rhys to let her go, but again doesn't make a move to her aid. Feyre feels a talon-tipped hand scrape against her mind, and Rhys's amusement fills the air as he tells Tamlin and Lucien that Feyre has had less than innocent thoughts about Tamlin. Rude, Rhys. Quote, if it's any consolation, Rhysand confided to him, she would have been the one for you, and you might have gotten away with it. A bit late, though. She's more stubborn than you are. Okay, what do you make of this? She would have been the one for you.
Yeah, like to break the curse.
I was like, not the one. Rhys is the one.
She's the one to break the curse.
She is, but as I read this, I was like, why is Rhys calling Feyre Tamlin's the one? But that makes a lot more sense. Moving on. Rhysand's power leaves Feyre's body and she crumples to the floor. Rhysand muses that Amarantha will enjoy torturing and breaking Feyre, and Tamlin pleads with Rhys to not tell Amarantha about her. Rhysand points to the floor, demanding he beg.
Oh, man.
And finally, Tamlin moves. He lowers himself to the ground. Lower, Rhysand demands, and Tamlin's head hits the floor. Lucien, at Rhysand's request, follows suit. Are you doing this for your sake or for hers? He wonders aloud. Don't we all?
Yeah, totally. Oh.
When Tamlin asks if Rhysand will tell Amarantha, Rhysand shrugs and says essentially, maybe he will, maybe he won't. And this appears to be the straw that broke the camel's back. Tamlin is suddenly, finally, at Rhysand's throat. Rhys simply pushes Tamlin away with one hand, then turns to Feyre. What's your name, love? And Feyre says, Claire Better.
Poor Claire Better.
I know.
Oh.
Rhysand tells the silent, shaking trio that he's had fun. He'll see them under the mountain soon, and he'll give Amarantha their regards. And then he is gone. A hell of a chapter!
He winnows away.
It was... He just evaporates.
Yeah. Bye!
and then Voldemort.
I was like holding the script and I'm like, so excited.
This really was like, I was reading this chapter and doing my section and I was like, woo, woo, woo.
My friend told me while we were on holiday that I talked to myself a lot. Like I was like sitting in the room and I'd be like working. I'm like, and she's like, are you talking to me? And I'm like, no. She's like, you talk to yourself a lot. And I was like, I was like, do you want? I had to have a sidebar with myself being like, shouldn't talk to yourself so much. You seem crazy. Yeah, exactly. Anywho. It was a moment for me.
Now I'm like trying to like think like, do you?
I do. I do.
Anyway, though, I talked through. I once was taking an exam, and it was through like a proctor. And I was talking to myself, and they're like, "You're actually not allowed to speak out loud right now." And I was like,
"Am I?"
Like, oh, all right. I would say I talk to myself, but thankfully I have a baby at home, so I just like I'm like, oh yeah, it's for her, right? It's good for her language.
I'm just nattering away. Yeah. Chapter 27. It feels like the inevitable crest of everything that's been building between Feyre and Tamlin. The tension, the tenderness, the unspoken fear that time is running out.
Yeah.
It becomes a chapter of release and consequence, passion and parting, and the moment where love becomes both comfort and tragedy.
Oof.
Is it wrong that I want to refer to Tamdam's reaction as a temper tantrum? He doesn't get his way. Rhysand basically humiliates him in front of his love interest and bestie, and he just loses it. Feyre is understandably extremely perturbed, not only by the situation, but Tamlin's, oh good, now I've crinkled my papers, destructive tendencies and unadulterated rage. Quote, I didn't go to dinner. I didn't want to know if there was a dining room to eat in, and I couldn't bring myself to paint. I read this as her internal alarm bells going off. She basically describes his rage as echoing throughout the entire house. Yikes. Literally reverberating the wood, stone, and glass.
Well, and we do know that at a later point, when he gets really upset, he does trash.
Every time he gets upset,
he trashes the house.
He's like a white boy
punching a hole in the wall. Yes.
Oh my god, he's so annoying.
In the quiet that follows, SJM pulls us back to the truth, that there isn't going to be a happy resolution. It's a breaking point. Tamlin tells Feyre she has to leave, that everything they've shared, everything they've risked, can't survive what's coming. It's not rejection. In my mind, it's resignation. Shocker. Tamlin is giving up and throwing in the towel. When Feyre describes herself as thorny, prickly, sour, and contrary, it's one of the most quietly revealing lines in the chapter. It's like she's trying to protect herself by being like, oh yeah, well that makes sense because like I'm no good anyways. So it's pretty sad. She genuinely believes that being difficult makes her easier to leave behind. It's heartbreaking. The idea that her thorns make her unlovable, or at least less painful to lose. And in a story so steeped in beauty and power, Feyre's self-image stands in stark contrast. For now. Not forever. Where Tamlin is gold and grace, she still sees herself as the weed among the roses. That contrast underscores how deeply her identity is rooted in unworthiness and how far she still has to go to understand that her real love story doesn't bloom in spite of her thorns, but because of them.
I love that, James. Like, and even if we think about Elaine, who is like, so
must we?
Like, I'd really rather not. But like described as very sweet and gentle. Like you and I both are like, yes, and like, right? She's boring, and we said before, like weaponized incompetence versus yes, Feyre is complicated. There is thorniness to her, and then when we get later into Nesta,
okay,
it's a whole other basement. But it makes them. They're real, right? These are real people that we can relate.
Yeah,
they're not, but like there's more. It's more human.
Yeah, totally. But this chapter isn't all doom and gloom. Can I just say it has been 246 pages, but who's counting? And we have reached the first sexy, spicy, sensual encounter.
Well, let the debauchery begin.
When they finally come together, it isn't sudden. Really, it's been building for a while. It's the culmination of restraint, longing, and maybe a bit of confusion. The scene reads less like desire born of impulse and more like two people reaching for connection in the face of something that's about to tear them apart. It's frenzied. It's a bit hectic. Feyre's ready for a throwdown, and she makes it known.
I mean, she was saying, like, yeah,
our girl
got me right on the table.
Yeah, but also she crawls on top of him. I would just like to point out, like, again. His like inaction.
Yes.
Like she basically like crawls on top of him and like leans over and is like, we're doing it.
And he's just a pillow princess. Like,
yeah.
All right.
I mean, he does flip her over eventually, but like we'll get to it. There are a few things during this intimate encounter that raise a few red flags. First of all, the claws out. Sir, keep those to yourself.
Good point.
2, ravenous, unyielding sort of hunger passed over his face. Is she prey or dinner? Like, who knows? 3, described with predatory intent. She is not dinner. I mean, other than the feast in chapter 54, which is a whole different kind of dark snack. Like, I don't know, all the language. And then number 4, a beast freed of his tether. This seems dangerous and not in like a sexy way.
Do you think that's just because we know, like, what happens later?
Maybe.
Because I feel like I have heard this language before, specifically in this genre. He unleashed himself.
But, like, it specifically says a beast freed.
So what is on the leash, right? A beast.
Yeah, because Cassian comes unleashed.
Sure
I think a few times. Oof.
In his own pants. Moral
line.
My tummy hurts from laughing so much. We're so funny. Moral of the story. If your lover looks at you like they're torn between kissing you and mauling you, maybe check for flaws and emotional baggage.
Yeah. I mean, Tamlin kind of immediately after pulls away, burdened by the knowledge that it can't last. I find it interesting that physical intimacy doesn't settle Feyre. It like heightens everything. Like, you know, you like bask in the afterglow and you're all like, there's not a
coital bliss.
There's not a care in the world. And you're like, tra-la-la. And she's just like, oh my God, I have to leave. I have to do all these things. What's going on with Rhys?
Right.
What's under the mountain? Amarantha? Like, she doesn't settle at all. If anything, like, she
like ramps her up.
Yeah, like vibrating with energy.
Yes. Like I said, Andrew calls it the tame.
Oh! No.
He calls it the taming, right? Mm-hmm. So like if I'm a little feisty, right. He's like, oh, you need a taming. I'm like, I sure do.
She becomes aware, maybe for the first time, of how deeply she's bound to Tamlin and how powerless she is to change what's coming.
Mm-hmm. She's trapped by his passivity.
Yes.
Shackled into her own form of passivity, like for now.
Feyre's feelings are complicated. She's reeling from love and fear in equal measure. So like, okay, this is the first sex scene. I mean, for me, it's kind of like, oh yeah, when is the next one? But as Feyre and Tamlin are laying in bed, she's like all curled up to him and it's cozy and nice. Tamlin says, oh yeah, by the way, you're leaving tomorrow at dawn. Like, he kind of just like is like a seagull, just like flies in, shits all over everything, and then he's like, okay, bye. And you're like, what is happening? Feyre's just like, dawn, and he's like, enough.
I'm really hoping we can create Tamlin as a seagull. That's going to show up here in the middle. I love it.
Like, there's no discussion about her leaving. It's just like, you're leaving. Again, that's it. Yeah. Get out of here. Like, you're too much of a liability. You're weak. And, you know, I can't be bothered with protecting you.
Yeah.
I mean, in his mind, he's trying to save her, but in doing so, he destroys the safety she's built with him.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, because now she's like, oh, I can't even like be safe here. I can't like depend on you because you're basically just like kicking me to the curb.
The place that she finally felt safe and cared for, and the person that she finally felt safe with. And he's like, JK.
Yeah, exactly. So there's like tragedy in this chapter, and it lies in the timing that they found love just as the world demands its undoing. The emotional aftermath is haunting. Just as the door begins to close between them, he says, I love you, he whispered, and kissed my brow, thorns and all. He was gone when I awoke, and I was certain I had dreamed it. To me, this lands both as like a gift for Feyre because, you know, she never gets told anything nice, really. But also like a wound. Like, it's like, why now? Why are you waiting till like this moment to tell me this when like, it's like too little too late in my mind. And like, it also makes her feel so conflicted. Like, well, if you love me, why are you sending me away? And like, you know, like, why don't you think I'm worthy of protecting? And why don't you want to like stand up for me?
Yeah,
well, exactly. For Feyre, who's never truly been loved without condition, these words hit with quiet devastation. It's what she's wanted, but not like this. Not when it comes right before being told to leave. The timing makes it tragic, and it feels like both a promise and a goodbye.
Yeah, and it is.
Yeah, oh, exactly. Chapter 28. The emotional hangover after being love drunk in the previous chapter, Feyre returns to the human lands. Her goodbye is brief. Lucian gets like a little dig in about what she's wearing. If I had to go, I think it was like, quote, if I have to go to the mortal lands and the clothes are like that, like, no thank you. That's basically. Right, like, he's such a mean girl and I love him. Okay. So can we talk about the emotional whiplash of this transition? 1 minute she's tangled up in a mortal love, biting, kissing, clawing each other's clothes off. And the next, she's donned a ridiculous mortal getup, been put into a magical coma, and wakes up back in the human lands, dodging Mista's side-eye.
Yeah.
Like, this is just, I don't know. This chapter was hard because it's sad, but also like you just want to be like, it's okay, like it's gonna get better. You're gonna make the right choice.
You know what it kind of reminds me of is like, I wonder, there have been times in my life where I've gone to go do something, went on an adventure. I moved away. I did like, I'm thinking specifically of like, I moved away and I did this internship and it was this crazy adventure and it was so fun. It was hard, but it was so fun. I felt so changed by it. And I was gone for like half a year. And then I came back and it was like nothing had changed.
Yeah.
And it was like, did that really happen? Did I experience that?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's this moment, like Feyre comes back and things are different because Tamlin has like,
they're not Po no mo.
He's hooked them up. But it's like, it's almost like, did I dream it? You know?
Yeah. In my mind, like Feyre felt like she was going to go back to being the provider, the caretaker, like the invisible one, except now that role doesn't exist for her anymore.
Yeah.
So not only has she been like kind of sided out of the Spring Court, but like there's no place for her in the mortal lands either.
Her family in a way.
Yeah, exactly. So Feyre keeps saying it's better this way, that Tamlin will be safer, that she was a distraction he couldn't afford. It's her most human coping mechanism, convincing herself that the heartbreak is noble, that losing him was her sacrifice to something bigger. So again, and again and again, Feyre and Rhysand like end up sacrificing or being willing to sacrifice themselves. But like, what is Tamlin sacrificing? Like, sure, he sends her away and like, I guess as a sacrifice because he does love her, but like,
Tamlin always sacrifices other people, never himself.
And also for his own good, or like for his emotional well-being, for his like peace of mind.
Okay, I wanted to talk to you about this. If Rhys had been the one that Amarantha had made this bargain with, and he had met Feyre and fallen in love with her, and then, because in this moment, Tamlin sends her away because he's like, she'll be safe there. And Rhys even says that when he went to go pay them a visit in the other dining room, that in chapter 54, I think it is, he's saying, I was trying to scare you. Like, that's why he did like gripped her mind and body and like scared the crap out of all of them. He wanted that. He wanted Feyre to go back to the human lands. So do you think, like, we're being pretty critical of Tamlin here, but it sounds like Tamlin does what Rhys wanted him to. So would Rhys not have then done the same thing? Would Rhys have sacrificed essentially Prythian for Feyre? Because that's what Tamlin's doing. He's sending her off knowing that he'll lose she's not going to say I love you, and they're all going to be doomed. And Rhys is like, that's what I wanted. I came there to scare him and to get you the hell out of Dodge.
But to be fair, Rhys at this point doesn't really know Feyre. Like, Tamlin has been with her now for what we can assume is like 8 months, maybe like 6 to 8 months.
Okay.
Like, Rhys doesn't really know like who she is. And I guess the argument there is like, does Tamlin, or does he just see what he wants to see? So I guess, yeah, fair point. I just RHYSAND forever.
But it's an interesting one.
Yeah.
As I was reading
you're like, right. But like
we're very hard on Tamlin, and at times justifiably so. I don't know that Rhys would have done anything different. And that's like in my head, I'm like, we talk about Tamlin being willing to sacrifice so many things and that he was a fool. And when Feyre comes in book 3, she's like, how could you have done that? You negotiated and gave up the whole of Prythian to get me. Also, I don't even want you. It's like, but would Rhys have done the same thing? Like, would he be that guy?
I don't think so, because Rhys always protects he protects the Night Court over everything.
So he would have sacrificed Feyre?
He knows that Feyre would have wanted.
And maybe that's the crux of it, is that he would have done it being like, that's what she would want as well.
Yes, exactly. And that's why they're mates.
That's why they're mates. Which are really rare. But also,
everyone in this book has one.
Huge sidebar. Sorry.
Feyre's goodbye to the Spring Court wasn't just about leaving Tamlin. It was about leaving behind the version of herself that had started to bloom there. no pun intended. The girl who painted again, the girl who laughed, the girl who felt worthy of beauty and love. Back home, she slips right back into her survival shell. But we can feel the fracture. She's out of place in both worlds now. Too human for Perithian and too changed for the mortal realm.
Such a good observation.
There's a cruel symmetry to that. The spring court with all its sunlight and warmth was supposed to be her fairy tale ending. Instead, it becomes proof that she doesn't belong anywhere anymore. Cue my thoughts immediately going to a sky of stars, cute little townhome, a found family, and a devastating, beautiful High Lord. When Feyre comes home, the reunion is awkward at best. You'd expect tears, hugs, maybe a Disney-style musical number, but instead, it's more like walking into a dinner party where everyone's pretending they weren't just talking about you.
Oh.
Yeah. They're all like, oh, you're here. Great.
Right.
Elaine, of course, is all sunshine and sincerity, thrilled to have Feyre back and completely buying the rich aunt story. Shocking. But also asking Feyre if, quote, didn't you get our letters? Good God, Elaine. Did you forget that you did not teach her to read? She couldn't go to school? Like, and Feyre clocks this in her mind, like, oh, does she not remember I can't read? And I'm like, girl, like, oh my gosh. She's the golden retriever of sisters. Loyal, loving, a bit dim-witted, and just happy everyone's together. Like, that is Elaine in a nutshell.
It's me at like a sports game, just being like, I just hope everyone has fun.
We're winning! Nesta, on the other hand, is giving FBI profiler energy. She takes one look at Feyre and instantly knows something is off. The fake smile, the evasive answers, none of it's fooling her. If anyone could see through fake glamour, it's Nesta Archeron, armed with sheer willpower and judgment.
Her strongest skill.
Yes. And then there's her father. The eternal optimist / absentee parent. He's relieved, grateful, and utterly clueless. Like a man who stumbled into the third act of a movie he hasn't been watching.
His, like, thank the cauldron you're safe energy is well-meaning, but it's hollow. The emotional equivalent of being like, sending thoughts and prayers.
Ugh, totally pathetic. This whole scene is drenched in irony. Once the only thing tethering Feyre to life now feels foreign. So, like, the idea that she has to protect and provide for her family. She's surrounded by the people she fought to save, but she doesn't fit in here anymore. Elaine's innocence, Nesta's rigidity, and their father's passivity, like their old costume, she's outgrown. Like, none of this suits her anymore.
No.
Feyre came home to protect them, but instead it feels like stepping back into a story that's already finished.
So good. Yeah.
It's the quiet heartbreak of realizing that sometimes home doesn't recognize you anymore, and that pretending everything is fine is kind of its own curse. Tamlin sent her away to save her, but in doing so, he made her a ghost in her own life. The chapter's final ache is that love doesn't fade just because distance demands it. Feyre may be home, in air quotes, but her heart hasn't followed. She's a girl who's survived hunger, cold, monsters, and now she's facing something far more insidious. The quiet pain of loving someone you can't have, the hollow echo of pretending you're better off. Because the truth is, Tamlin is not the only one cursed by his choices. Feyre learned that real love is messy. World-ending love leaves marks that even distance can't heal. Don't worry, Feyre, darling. You'll come to realize this was just a temporary bad dream.
Jamie! So I did like a little, I was like, so good.
Chapter 29.
Let's do it.
Feyre wakes up not in the glittering, cursed beauty of the spring court, but back in the quiet dullness of the mortal world.
Oh, God.
Wah, wah.
Even, like, with all of that wealth, it would have just been like...
Like, especially the food, because she talks about the food being, like, oh, my God, life-changing. And this hot cocoa that's mentioned, like, 4 times.
You have brought this cocoa up a few times.
Yes, I'm like, where is that?
We should serve it at our party.
The color has drained out of everything. The food tastes bland. The air feels heavy. She feels very small. That universal heartbreak moment when the place that used to fit suddenly doesn't. She's gone back to the version of herself who was supposed to be free, but all she can think about is who and what she left behind. Let's start with Elaine.
Your favorite.
Yeah. Sweet, oblivious Elaine, who somehow manages to wax poetic about their cottage years. Like how? You know, the years of freezing to death and fighting over scraps of bread? Elaine's nostalgia is both somewhat endearing, but mildly unhinged.
Oh, yeah.
She is Delulu, sitting there in her floral dress, sipping tea and reminiscing like, remember the good old days when we were starving and surrounded by mud?
Mm-hmm.
It's the most Elaine thing ever. The yearning for simplicity without remembering the suffering that came with it. It tells us so much about her character. She romanticizes the past because she's never really lived in survival mode, even when they were poor. Like, she was always just,
I know. And Feyre's listening like, girl, you couldn't even gut a fish.
Right, like, oh. And then there's Nesta, always the antithesis of Elaine's softness. While Elaine's busy missing the cottage, Nesta took it upon herself to go find Feyre when she first disappeared.
My girl!
Paying her aunt a visit, in air quotes. But Feyre assumes she was turned around by Tamlin's glamour based on what Elaine says. She was gone for a week and then came back. It's the first real glimpse we get behind all the frostbite and fury. Nesta cares deeply, quietly, inconveniently.
But with action.
Yes, exactly. And in true Nesta fashion, she'd rather chew glass than admit it. That confession, the idea that she went looking for Feyre, cracks something open in their relationship. And we'll learn more about Nesta's search in later books because she was not affected by the glamour.
Nope. She was like, one day all of a sudden they have all this money and everyone's like, yeah, this aunt. And Nesta's like, what?
I have never heard of this person.
No! Which I'm like, Nesta, there is like, there's something. Yeah.
Next up, a trip down memory lane. When they visit the old cottage together, it's haunting. The place that once held their entire world now stands as a hollow shell, not a home. It's eerie, too, because this is where Feyre's story began. The hunger, the cold, the endless gray of all of it still lingers. Feyre's looking at her old life from the outside now, and that distance is devastating. She's outgrown that world. And it still kind of tugs at her, kind of reminding her who she was and what she was during that time.
Part of her.
Yeah. What she lost and the fact that she'll truly never get the version of herself back that like went over the wall.
Yeah.
So it's like a bit like mourning, I would say.
Yeah.
The visit isn't just nostalgia, it's confrontation. Feyre is standing in the ashes of her past, realizing that survival wasn't the same as living. The life she built here was one of necessity, not choice. Choice. And the life she found in the Spring Court, for all its danger and complexity, gave her something she can't find among mortals. Meaning. Like I don't know. It's so weird to me to think like how much of an impact the Spring Court had on Feyre, because all I think about is the Night Court.
It's the Night Court, yeah. But her story.
It does. And like when you're reading it for the first time, even though I didn't like Tamlin, I was still like, oh, she's like getting better. And then she's not. And then,
Yeah.
Like it's just kind of a trip for the reader the first time through.
Absolutely.
Chapter 29 isn't dramatic or magical, but it's crucial. It's about memory, identity, and the uncomfortable truth that growth often means letting go of people and places that made you who you are. So this is kind of interesting because say she goes under the mountain and all the things happen. If Elaine and Nesta hadn't turned fae, would she still have like outgrown them? Because like as their characters now develop into these other things, like she grows closer to them or like, she has a way to relate to them again. Whereas like if they wouldn't have, you know what I mean? Like, is her relationship with them hinging on the fact that they turn fae?
They become fae.
I think that they were growing closer in the second book when everything's happening with the queens.
Oh,
and
yeah, I guess.
They're both getting kind of a taste of Feyre's world and all the shit she's had to deal with.
Right.
So I think that is leveling the playing field a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe their relationship.
Nothing brings people together like a common enemy.
Yeah. No, that's true. Feyre is mourning her old life and the innocence that came with it. Sort of. I mean, like, innocence in that she was unexposed to many things, but not so innocent in that, like,
Maybe naivete.
Yep, that's a better word. Good one. While also realizing she's changed too much to fit back in. The thorns that once shielded her have softened, and in their absence, the pull of Perithian feels stronger than ever. Like, she doesn't need her thorns in Perithian. She puts them back up. But, like, in the moments with Tamlin, she didn't feel like she needed them anymore.
She chooses when she has thorns.
Yeah.
It's not the default.
All right, we made it through Babes Between the Lines, and now it's time for Hot Takes, Theories, and Thirsts.
And there's actually stuff to thirst over this time.
I know. Okay, so let's talk about the emotional whiplash that was chapters 24 through 29. They're basically a romantasy boot camp. 1 minute we're painting under starlight, the next we're sobbing into our mortal porridge, wondering what just happened. It's a roller coaster, and honestly, we didn't ask to be emotionally waterboarded, but here we are.
Finally, that tension that we've been marinating in for 200 plus pages finally explodes. Hallelujah to men who enjoy going down on women that they love. Can we just take a moment to celebrate? Because, babes, this is a high point for female-authored intimacy. Tamlin may have the emotional range of a damp leaf sometimes, but in this scene, he's fluent in worship.
Heck yeah, he is. Amen. This should be standard practice. Like, can we get this energy in every fantasy realm? On their knees. People on their knees. We are feral. Xaden, Hawk, Rhysand, Xander. Listeners, take notes. Women writing for women, and it shows. It's hot because it's about mutuality, not dominance. Feyre isn't just being desired, she's being seen.
Oh, I always say to be seen is to be loved. Can we talk about the darkness and moonlight woven throughout that scene? I swear Maas was already winking at us. Amid all that golden spring fling, there's a sudden mention of shadows and moonlight wrapping around them, a flicker of something otherworldly. I'm sorry, that's a RHYSAND Easter egg if I've ever seen one.
Is this like a mental threesome? Was Rhysand there?
Stop.
That's what I thought when I read that. I'm like, Rhysand?
Maybe
Is that
he's a
you?
bit of a voyeur.
I mean,
I can see it, actually.
Totally.
Yes, especially being a Daemati. Like,
yeah. Next level voyeur. If you're a
you
Daemati.
dirty dog.
It's like the narrative can't help but whisper, don't get too attached to the High Lord of Spring. The darkness is coming, and it's wearing violet eyes. Maybe it's my love for Rhysand clouding my judgment. I mean, it always is. But the timing feels intentional. Maas is planting the seed that Feyre's story and her heart is going to shift.
And then we go from ecstasy to agony in record time. Tamlin's I love you comes right before the heartbreak. It's the emotional equivalent of being handed a rose and realizing it's made of glass. He finally says the words we've been waiting for, and then immediately sends her away. Classic Femen behavior. Confess your love. Now ruin everything.
And can we talk about the whole you have to leave thing packaged as selflessness? Like, sure, Tamlin, you're protecting her, but you're also making a choice for her. Classic Tamlin. And that control is going to define his character for the next few books. Feyre's heart breaks, but what's tragic is that she thinks it's noble. Like, she is kind of playing into his hands a little bit here. Yeah, for sure. My last note was all the italics in these chapters.
So many.
Home, free, I love you, Feyre, are little linguistic daggers. On a reread, I did not read this as emphasis as much as like contradictions. Like, every italicized word is Feyre trying to convince herself of something she doesn't actually believe.
Oh, interesting.
She's home, but it's not home. She's free, but she's trapped. It's heartbreak by typography. SJM, we see you.
So good.
And it runs throughout the whole course of the book. And I did hear something, maybe it was on Instagram, I'd have to go back and look, about like SJM's specific use of italics. Like, she gets asked about it at like stuff all the time.
Oh, I am going to be doing a deep dive on this.
Yes, I know. Now you'll be reading it and be like, italics!
Yes, I will. I love it. Okay. So let's sum it up. We've got sex, symbolism, self-sacrifice, and a crash course in existential crisis. Feyre's not just losing Tamlin, she's losing the illusion that she can ever go back to who she was before him.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, thoughts, babes? Are we overanalyzing the moonlight? No, never.
Us?
Are we right to praise the kneeling men? Always.
Yes, always.
And does anyone else feel that invisible tug, the one that's leading Feyre right back to under the mountain and straight into the arms of destiny? I, for one, cannot wait.
Thanks for listening, babes. May your chapters be spicy, your main characters morally gray, and your bookmarks slightly, well, damp from the emotional damage, of course. Jamie.
We want to hear from you as we continue to build this little corner of our world and fall in love as we dive into fantastic worlds, fabulous folklore, and fine males and men. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok and subscribe on YouTube at A Court of Books and Babes Pod. And please take 5 minutes to rate and review our podcast on Apple and Spotify and share it with all the babes in your life.
Until next time,
Stay bookish, babes.